Yo YouTube, I hope everyone is staying safe out there right now amidst all this COVID-19 and coronavirus issues that are happening. I've read a few articles about people who have contracted the virus and have recovered from it, and trust me, these articles don't paint a good picture. So please remember, wash your hands, stay home, and let's do our part to flatten the curve of this virus. Now, what I want to talk to you guys about today is the new COVID or the new coronavirus stimulus package that the president has passed or is about to sign into bill. Now, before I jump into that, I also want to cover a few different financial issues that are happening right now amidst all the coronavirus situation that's happening. Now, a lot of creditors and even rental agencies are allowing you to suspend your payments. Now, is it something that you should do? And how does it affect you in the long run? Now remember, if they're going to suspend your payments, the main thing is they still want their money. So in the case of renting, maybe an apartment or your house, just remember this. If your rental lease is for 1 year and you're 3 months into your 1 year and you skip those 2 months, then over the next 7 months, you're still going to have to pay back those 2 months of rent that you didn't pay. So you're not getting a free ride out of certain loans or certain rental payments. You still have to pay back that money. Now, the way that I would tell you to evaluate whether or not you should do something like this, such as, taking a suspension on your rent or on your mortgage or even on your student loans or anything like that, is to look at your financial need right now. Are you one of the individuals who have lost their jobs? Have you been furloughed? Have you had your hours cut back? Are you in fear that your job might cut you in another month or two if this situation doesn't get under control? If you're that type of person, then yes, definitely ask for a suspension. You need it. However, if you're a person who is continuing to work right now amidst all that's going on, your job has allowed you to do your work remote, you can adequately do your role remotely, and you're not losing any hours and you are not in fear of losing your job because of this virus, or if you're an essential worker for the society on a whole and you know that your job is secured, secure to a certain degree, however, still secure right now, you can still cover your bills, and you should, because you don't need it right now. That's how I would evaluate the situation. Again, everybody has their own financial needs and situation, and they have their own families to look after. So make the decision that works best for your family. Now, let's jump into the topic of the day. What about this coronavirus stimulus package and how does it affect your student loan? Now, the first thing I want to address is something that I already spoke about earlier, but let's tie it to the student loans. Should you or should you not continue paying on your student loan, even if the government is going to suspend it? My opinion, again, your financial situation will determine that. If your financial situation is one that you're not worried about your job, you're still getting regular paychecks, then please, the best thing for you to do is to hit the road running hard during these 6 months and pay as much as possible towards your student loan. If you're a person that's about to see financial hard times, or you're one of the 3.3 million that just applied for unemployment because of everything that's going on now with the COVID-19, then you are the prime person who should be looking forward to the suspension of your student loans in the next 6 months, for the next 6 months. Here's why I say if you can pay, you should continue to pay. Because history has taught us that even in the midst of any pandemic or any virus pandemic, the world has always gotten over it. Take, for instance, the Spanish flu, or the regular flu, or polio. Every one of those, including so many far back we can't even remember them right now, we have gotten over them. And at the end of the day, once we get past COVID-19, your creditors and your student loan agencies are going to come knocking at your door and they're going to want their money. And all you're going to have done is increase the length of time that you still have to pay on your loans. Now, before we jump into everything that has to deal with the current stimulus package and how it affects your student loans, please remember, all the information that you need can be found on the U.S. Department of Education's website, or you can also check your loan service provider's website for up-to-date information that your loan service provider is putting out there. Now let's jump into the stimulus package or the pandemic assistance that's going to help many of us with our student loans. So what's going to happen with it, or what's going on with it? What's the deal? First thing is going to defer all your payments and waive all interest on federally held student loans until September 30th. The next thing is, this includes all direct loans, federal Perkins loans that are held by the U.S. Department of Education, that's key right there, federal family education loans or FEAL loan programs that are held by the U.S. Department of Education. Again, it has to be held by the U.S. Department of Education, as you can see here. So any loan that's held by the U.S. Department of Education is covered under this new coronavirus stimulus package. All right, so now some of you might have Perkins loans or field program loans that are not held by U.S. Department of Education. Can you still get this? Yes. However, you have to move your field loans and your Perkins loans over to a direct loan consolidation, or I think it's direct consolidation loan, something like that. So once you do that, then you will fall under this program. Now, there are a few stipulations that go into that, and I'll leave the website in the description for the video so you can go and read up on it and check it out if you're one of those people who want to move your loan so that you can take advantage of these next 6 months without interest. The next key thing is that your interest rate will drop to zero starting from March 13th, and that will last until September 30th of 2020. Now, remember this stimulus package is law. So you need to continue watching out on your loan service provider's website, because it's law that your interest rate is 0% from March 13th to September 30th of 2020. Another key detail about the stimulus package and how it relates to student loans is that it has really adjusted how forbearance is done for those 6 months. Now, originally, forbearance meant that you would have your payment suspended for a period of time, let's say 1 year, and throughout that time, your loan was still accruing interest. Now, once that forbearance period has ended, your loan provider, the U.S. Department of Education, would take all that accrued interest and tack it on to your principal balance, whereby increasing your principal balance and increasing the amount that you're now having to pay interest on as you pay it off after the forbearance was over. But the stimulus package changed that for the next 6 months until September 30th. What it has said is that throughout that time that you're in forbearance, zero interest will be accrued on your loan. So you won't have to worry about anything. No additional amount will be added on unless there was already interest there prior to March 13th. If you have had interest accrued prior to March 13th, that interest will still be there. If you are paying down on your loan during the next 6 months, which if you can, I would really advise you to, but if you're going to pay down on your loan for the next 6 months, you will have to first cover any interest that was accrued prior to March 13th before your money will start hitting the principal balance. So basically, for the next 6 months, you can chip away at as much principal balance as possible, interest-free. Now, you can go ahead right now and opt to put your loan in forbearance, or you can wait until your loan is 30 days or 31 days into delinquency and it will automatically go into forbearance. So here's some key things as I wrap up. For those people who are a part of the Service Loan Forgiveness Program, this will actually benefit you a great deal. And you are one of the only people I would tell to go ahead and not pay your loan. The reason being is that you all have to pay 120 payments as it pertains to the Service Loan Forgiveness Program. If you do not pay any payments between now and September 30th, according to the stimulus package, those months will be counted towards your 120 payments, even if you don't pay them. you all will get to save your money for that month of payment, plus you would still get the payment counted towards your 120 total payments. Remember, go to your loan service provider's website and make sure you read all the details. I am just giving the information that I have found online. So you have to make sure that you're finalizing everything with your loan service provider. The next thing is, if your wage is currently being garnished and you were behind on your federally held student loans, it will be suspended for right now. You should not have any wage garnishments for student loans right now during this period from now until September 30th. Also, if you were afraid that your refund would be taken because you didn't make any payments towards your student loans, that will not happen this year. You will get your refund even if you are behind on your student loans. And finally, for those federal grants that require you to be up to date with paying your student loans, those will not be taken from you as a result of you not paying your student loans on time. You can now go ahead and get those between this time frame. And finally, for those of us who have employers who are assisting us with paying down our student loans or assisting us with furthering our education, that amount of money will not be counted on your gross income at the end of the year for 2020. Actually, it will not be counted from the day that the president signs this into law until the end of 2020. So any amount that they paid prior to him signing the law will still be counted on your income. But any amount after that will not be counted on your income up to $5,250. Anything after $5,250 will go towards your gross income or your overall income that is reported to the IRS. Now, once all of this is over, I would urge everyone to triple check that everything that was said to have been done was done accordingly. So no interest from March 13th to September 30th. So what I would advise you to do right now is go online and print off your current loans as it is right now, not your loan statement, because your loan statement comes out once a month. Go online and print out what it is right now. And so when the time is completed on September 30th, you will have some kind of evidence to compare then and now to see what it is. For me personally, I'm going to use this time frame to chip away at as much as possible as I can. So any of my loans that have really high interest rate or really high balances, I'm going to chip away at those right now, because all of my loans right now would be non-interest during this period until September 30th. So now is my time to chip away at it. I'm one of the lucky few, and if you all are one of the lucky few, I think you should do it also, which is to chip away at your loan balances. There are many people right now who are not going to be able to continue paying their loans, and for those individuals, this is a great opportunity and a lifesaver for them. Those are the people who really need it. For the rest of us, we need to get down as much of our debt as possible if you know that you have a job that's somewhat secure. There's no job that's secure, but that's relatively secure, and you are still going to have that job when this whole epidemic is over. As usual, thanks again for watching, and I hope I provided some key details for those of you who were confused or just wanted to have some information on this. And if you feel like this was really good details, please remember, like and share the video and subscribe if you want to see more content. And again, share the video so that others can get to see the details that you just got to see. Thanks again, and see you later. Or is paying for